For the art project, I decided to write a poem on vectors. So here it goes. Humans of will. We all start at a certain point, lost in space, looking for an axis, a reference line, a simple guide to follow and diverge. Animated by a profound will, propelled by a magnitude and a direction, we fly towards infinity, towards uncertainty. At first, a simple unit defines our potential. Then we grow, we expand, we become element of space. We express ourselves following X and Y, walking, running, but dreaming to fly. Then we meet Z, giving us wings. Our progress is dependent of our knowledge. Development becomes exponential according to the acquired wisdom. Then experience gives it a dimension, propelling us near the sky. Growing, we take different directions, evolving positively towards progress, or moving retrospectively near negativity. Space defines us, just as we give it a purpose. Among the vastness of possibilities and absurdity of life, positivity and negativity drown in the silence of lost purpose, left without direction and desire. Then we collide, meeting that one little piece of desire, giving us hope and strength. A beautiful design, shaped by a simple combination of two lost souls, ruled by the aspiration of the two individuals. Their path converges, becoming vectors of their ambition. We drastically change our direction, driven by the wind. Permutation of our will occurs. Final destination changes, becoming opposite to our initial purposes. What if there is no collision, no encounter, no shared dreams? As if an individual with the same grit and sensitivity would exist, growing parallel to us, we are doomed to never meet. Meanwhile, we also attract others, minds that are different to us, but makes us feel free. Perpendicular to us, we sway in their soul. Their arms allows us to fly towards zenith. Others drift away, seeking another direction, leaving a shadow on us, becoming ghosts of the past. Just as a scar heals, we dream on without them. Lost in fantasy, we branch off. Daydreaming, we become orthogonal to ourselves, dreams emerging from our deepest aspirations. We live in a mesmerizing chaos of direction, shaped by directions, people, desire, and belief. Our essence becomes the multiplication of all those vectors who accumulate as a whole. All those vectors are seeds of our hope, gardens of our consciousness flourish, and we collect the flowers of our will. So let me explain the meaning of this poem and where are the vectors located. So to begin with, we have the point. So we all start at a certain point. So here is the point. And then I illustrated the unit vector as saying, at first, a simple unit defines our potential. And we all know that a unit vector is just a primary vector and it's growing, so we grow, we expand just as vectors. And then I continued talking about just a graphic in general. And what I wanted to say is that we express ourselves following X and Y. And for me, X and Y are progress. So Y is our progress, and that it's dependent on our knowledge. And as it grows with our wisdom, there is experience that validate this knowledge and give it a third dimension. So it had a small graph here just illustrating. From that, we evolve positively towards progress. So here is a positive vector. And moving prospectively near negativity. So that's for me negative vector. When we just, when you do a retrospection, that's a negative vector. And then I continue saying that among the vastness of possibilities and absurdity of life, positivity and negativity drown in the silence of lost purpose. I'm sorry, there's purpose missing. I just put it back. But here is for me a plus minus vector that is left with no direction and desire. So for me, it's just someone that is kind of depressive or just kind of lost, don't know what to do, where to go, and is just stagnant. There's no direction, no little arrow. But then there's hope, because then we collide. We meet that little piece of desire, that little person giving us hope and strength. So I continue saying that a beautiful design shaped by a simple combination of two lost souls. So here is the addition of vectors. That is two vectors Z and V are two people that meet, and necessarily when they meet, their future changes according to one another. So that's the addition. But then I talk about drastically changing our direction. So W here, that was positive at first, changes its direction and becomes negative. There's a permutation that occurs, and necessarily from that, there's a change of destination, and they become the destination becomes opposite to what it was supposed to be. So yeah. And then I talk about parallel vectors as saying that what if there is no collision, no encounter, no shared dreams? So what if there's someone out there that is the same, not that same personality as us, having the same grit, the same sensitivity, but we'll never meet? And that's for me two parallel vectors, two people that are the same but that are not meant to meet. From that, I have we also attract others, so minds that are different to us but makes us feel free. So here I'm talking about the perpendicular vector, the orthogonal vector, as if as when we meet someone that is so different to us, but we still connect. So that's where the 90 degrees is. But even if we're different, it just makes us sway, it just makes us smile, and just makes us feel free. So when I say their arms allow us to fly towards zenith. Zenith here is the z-axis, but moreover it's the sky. So it's the highest point on the sky, on the vertical. So that's for me the third dimension that those person give us. And yeah, so others drift away seeking another direction. So here I'm talking about people who just enters our life and then they just go out from our lives, but they still leave a shadow. They leave something on us, and they become kind of ghosts of the past. So here I'm talking about orthogonal projection, where when you meet someone and then it leaves something on you, just as this little vector A, that then have its orthogonal projection on the y-axis, not on the x. So yeah, exactly. And then, but we dream on without them, so we still continue growing, and there's still something, just a projection left. Then lost in fantasy, we branch off. Daydreaming, we become orthogonal to ourselves. So here I'm talking about the normal. I'm sorry. So that is a vector that comes out of us, 90 degrees out of us, and that's for me a normal. And that's where we start going into our deepest aspiration. That little vector is kind of part of our essence, or part of true self, I'd say. Yeah, let's be really metaphoric. Then we live in a mesmerizing chaos of direction. So all this poem, I think I've wrote too much direction. I'm so sorry, but anyways. And so in this chaos of direction, there's experiences, knowledge, people, desire, belief, that all shapes us from a way to another. And that the product of all those vectors, or T times S, becomes our essence becomes who we really are and what we became. So that's for me something that is scalar, that is just not quantitative, but yeah, quantitative, and that is also just something that cannot move. It's us, and but came from something that was moving. So I say here, our essence becomes a multiplication of all those vectors that accumulate as a whole. And I finish by saying that all those vectors are seeds of our hope. So again, all those seeds become flowers, and those flowers, we can count them. We cannot like give them the direction or magnitude. We can only count them and make a beautiful garden. So our consciousness flourish from that, and then we collect the flowers of our will, and that's come back to the title of the whole poem. So I hope you liked it. I had a lot of fun doing it, and yeah, thank you.